Welcome to Streaming News Network, where we deliver balanced reporting with the facts that matter. The Evening Edition by Claude McDaniel. Please like and subscribe.
This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. A 15-year-old Indiana boy has been sentenced to 100 years in prison for a fatal shooting outside an Anderson nightclub. Joe Madge Larry was convicted in the February 2025 shooting that killed 26-year-old Dayla Swain and wounded another woman. A Madison County judge sentenced Larry to 50 years for murder, plus another 50 years under a criminal organization enhancement connected to alleged gang activity. Prosecutors said Swain was not the intended target. They alleged the shooting was part of a plot to kill a witness connected to a separate 2023 homicide involving 15-year-old Julian Craig. Larry was convicted of murder, attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, criminal organization activity, and dangerous possession of a firearm. His co-defendant, 19-year-old Rashawn Samuels, was convicted in the same case and sentenced to 125 years. Because Larry was under 18 when the crime occurred, Indiana law allows him to request a sentence review after serving at least 20 years. However, that does not guarantee a reduced sentence or release. This is Streaming News Network. OnlyFans model Courtney Clenney has reached a plea agreement in connection with the 2022 fatal stabbing of her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli. Court records in Miami-Dade County, Florida, show Clenney is scheduled to appear before Judge Andrea Ricker-Wolfson on August 10 for a plea hearing. Clenney was charged with second-degree murder after authorities found Obumseli fatally stabbed inside the couple's Miami condominium on April 3, 2022. Clenney, now 30, was arrested about 4 months later at a rehabilitation facility in Hawaii. She pleaded not guilty and has remained in custody. Clenney has maintained that she acted in self-defense. Her attorneys have argued that evidence would show Obumseli had been abusive toward her, allegations his family has denied. Details of the plea agreement have not yet been publicly disclosed, including whether Clenney will plead to a lesser charge or what sentence she could face. Her case had been scheduled to go to trial within weeks. This is Streaming News Network. Federal prosecutors are moving to dismiss a vandalism case involving the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool after determining the damage was apparently caused by a flawed installation rather than vandalism. Jeanine Pirro, United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, filed a motion Friday seeking dismissal of the case against former Olympic canoeist David Hearn. Hearn had pleaded not guilty to felony destruction of government property after being accused of damaging the reflecting pool during a June 19 visit. But prosecutors say documents provided by the Department of the Interior after Hearn was indicted revealed problems with renovation work performed by contractor Atlantic Industrial Coatings. According to the filing, sealant installed along the bottom of the pool began peeling almost immediately after renovations were completed. Prosecutors said the newly provided information showed the damage resulted from a botched installation and a rushed effort to complete the project before events surrounding America's 250th anniversary celebration. The filing also said the Department of the Interior initially provided incomplete information about the condition of the pool. This is Streaming News Network. A 2-day search for a missing 10-year-old girl in New Jersey has ended tragically after crews recovered her body from the Passaic River. Officials say 3 children were swept into the river Wednesday evening while playing near a boat ramp at Pulaski Park in Passaic. An 11-year-old girl managed to escape the water, but a 10-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl disappeared. Search crews recovered the boy's body Wednesday night. The search for the girl continued for 2 more days, covering nearly 9 miles of river with boats, sonar equipment, drones and specially trained dogs. On Friday evening, a couple living near the Market Street Bridge spotted what they believed was a body in the river and immediately called 911. Emergency crews responded within minutes and recovered the girl's body near Wallington. Officials praised the couple for acting quickly, saying the river's strong current could have carried the child much farther downstream. Authorities say the families have expressed appreciation for the community's support while requesting privacy as they grieve. The children's names have not been released. This is Streaming News Network. A prominent figure in Chicago basketball is being remembered after former player and longtime coach Tim Bankston was found fatally shot on the city's south side. Bankston, 60, was discovered Wednesday, July 29, inside a friend's home. Authorities have ruled his death a homicide, and no arrests have been announced. Bankston became a standout player at Chicago's Simeon High School during the 1980s and was a member of the school's 1984 state championship basketball team. That team also included highly regarded prospect Ben Wilson, who was fatally shot at age 17 that same year. Bankston later played college basketball at Bradley University and Loyola University Chicago before becoming a coach at Thornton Fractional North High School in Calumet City. His son, Timothy Bankston Jr., says he intends to carry on his father's legacy. Former players and school officials remembered Bankston as far more than a basketball coach, describing him as a mentor, teacher, and friend who helped shape generations of young people. The investigation into his death remains ongoing. This is Streaming News Network. Federal investigators are warning Americans about a widespread phone scam that has reportedly drained more than $215 million from victims. The Federal Bureau of Investigation says scammers are using a technique known as caller identification spoofing, which can make an incoming call appear to originate from a trusted bank, government agency, or even the Federal Bureau of Investigation itself. The caller typically claims the victim's bank account or savings are in immediate danger and pressures them to transfer money into a supposedly secure account. Investigators warn that legitimate law enforcement agencies will never call demanding money, gift cards, or transfers to resolve a criminal matter. Consumers should also be suspicious of callers claiming to represent their bank and demanding immediate financial action. Authorities recommend hanging up and independently contacting the organization using a verified telephone number from its official website, bank statement, or the back of a debit or credit card. Never rely solely on the number displayed on your caller identification. That familiar number could be part of the scam. This is Streaming News Network. A New York sheriff says his department will continue cooperating with federal immigration authorities despite a new state law restricting agreements between local law enforcement and immigration officials. Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood says he intends to continue notifying United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement when someone accused of a crime is being held at his jail and has an immigration issue. The dispute follows Governor Kathy Hochul's signing of the Local Cops, Local Crimes Act, which restricts state and local law enforcement agencies from entering formal or informal agreements that delegate federal immigration enforcement responsibilities. Hood says his department has honored 7 immigration detainers since September involving defendants accused of offenses including rape, robbery, driving while intoxicated, and weapons violations. The sheriff emphasized that his department is not conducting immigration raids or targeting people simply because of their immigration status. Instead, he says his focus is on individuals already entering the county jail on criminal charges. The law is also facing a legal challenge from the Trump administration, setting up a broader dispute over the boundaries between state authority and federal immigration enforcement. This is Streaming News Network. An 86-year-old Texas man says he was temporarily prevented from accessing approximately $3 million held in his longtime Edward Jones investment account. Larry Williams, a former International Business Machine salesman, says he attempted to withdraw and eventually transfer his investments after maintaining the account for about 2 decades. Williams claims company representatives questioned whether he was mentally competent and raised concerns that he could be the victim of financial exploitation or a scam. Williams strongly disputes those concerns, saying he offered to take a cognitive test and provided 6 of 7 requested identification documents. He says he wanted some of the money to assist family members, pay approximately $10,000 to the Internal Revenue Service, cover expenses, and maintain emergency savings. Financial institutions can temporarily restrict transactions while investigating suspected fraud or financial exploitation, particularly involving older customers. Edward Jones says it follows industry-required safeguards before releasing funds to protect its clients. Williams ultimately requested that his investments be transferred to Merrill Lynch. He later reported that approximately half of the account had been approved for transfer. This is Streaming News Network. Former Wasp guitarist Chris Holmes is facing another cancer battle, for years after undergoing treatment for throat and neck cancer. Holmes and his wife, Catherine, have announced that the veteran rock guitarist has been diagnosed with prostate cancer and has begun radiation therapy in France. Holmes previously battled throat cancer in 2022, following 2 years of disruptions related to coronavirus disease 2019. Fans helped the musician and his family cover expenses through an online fundraising campaign, and Holmes was later declared cancer-free. Now, the couple says an administrative issue involving their marriage registration has resulted in their health insurance covering only emergency treatment. They say expenses for hormone therapy, medical scans, biopsies, blood tests, and transportation have contributed to approximately €20,000 in medical debt. A new fundraising campaign has been established with a goal of €50,000, or approximately $57,000. Holmes rose to prominence during the 1980s as guitarist for the heavy metal band Wasp, which stands for We Are Sexual Perverts, though the band has historically given conflicting explanations about whether the letters officially stand for anything. I am J. Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Thank you for watching and stay informed.
Thank you for viewing Streaming News Network videos, and also short and special reports. Please like, subscribe, and tap the bell to be notified of additional reports.